Hi everyone, I'm Claire Hextall, Marketing Director at Cowgirls. I'm joined today by partner and Head of Business Recovery, also at Cowgirls, Jason Elliott. So the next question we have today, Jason, is as we come out of lockdown and the government's furlough scheme comes to a close, what do you think the future holds for businesses? And kind of leading on from that, it's obviously been a period as what we can only describe as frantic for HMRC. What changes are we likely to see from them in the coming months?
Wow. As of August, the furlough assistance drops, and that will place businesses in a position whereby they're going to have to make decisions on staffing levels. Some will already have done that, but lots of businesses will have kicked that can down the road because of the financial assistance on offer. We've already seen over the last 3 months the larger businesses who have made some drastic cuts, and I think other businesses will now start to follow suit because there will be such uncertainty about what their business looks like for a period of time. Ultimately, it will depend on how the business performs and the sector that it's in, but I can't see other than initial and immediate cutbacks in the short term whilst they get back on the feet, while they understand what the business looks like, and then they may well start to re-employ as the new norm, if you'll excuse the terminology, for their business kicks in. So I think there'll be the initial reaction because of the furlough assistance reducing, and that reaction will be to cut some costs, and that will inevitably be employment. And then when they get an understanding of the business, assuming they're not at the right level, I think there'll be then some re-employments were required. In relation to the HMRC situation, I think HMRC, and I've seen it from recent correspondence, they are going to try and go back to how they operated pre-lockdown. The recent announcements regarding the end of deferral scheme and how they're expecting the July's payment quarter to be met on time really sets their stall out. You may or may not know that they've also got current draft legislation, and HMRC have asked for it to be incorporated into the 2020 finance bill in relation to COVID-19 payments that have been made over the last 3 to 4 months, where directors have taken any of the reliefs that have been available and utilised them on non-cash flow related reasons when that business subsequently falls into some form of insolvency, liquidation or administration, and the office holder is likely to be asked to investigate the directors. And by investigate, I mean, should they have taken it? What have they done with it? Remember, the reliefs were only supposed to apply to businesses that were solvent but for COVID-19, and I'm not sure that the ability to do those checks was in place when the monies were requested, and therefore what you have is almost a retrospective look-see as to whether or not these loans, these grants should have been taken. So what I don't have any understanding is that whilst, if this goes through, whilst we are being asked to look at these things, what the repercussions are likely to be, whether or not it can be personal against directors or whether or not it can be punitive in relation to disqualification, I don't know, so I don't want to speculate. But what you can see is if you're expecting a warmer, fluffier HMRC post-COVID, they're not setting the stall out that way at all. I think time to pays are still going to be difficult, and I think non-payments will be aggressively pursued as they have been historically. So I think everybody needs to be aware of that.